Hello guys, this is going to be a very quick video. Today we're going to talk about backward solving on the eyes, and as usual I have updated the animation. So it's the movement of the arms, the legs, the foot and the hands, but also now along 40 frames I have rotated the eyes. They go up, side views. I randomly rotate them just to get a little bit of rotation overall, and then display them like that, and then inside with a little bit of convergence, and then back to the original frame. So this is the kind of movement. I then brought the animation into Unreal, and this is how it looks into Unreal. There we go. So we have it across 40 frames. Before doing that though, I want to make some observations of what we have on the eye, which allows me to do a little bit of recap. So right now, this is my eye geometry, and the eye geometry can be animated in different ways, the way we have implemented the eye module. So the first way is that we have an FK control here. Let's say here. Let me delete that just to be a little bit more precise. And we have an eye control here, and by manipulating and rotating this eye control, the sphere rotates. Nothing fancy. There is a joint underneath in Maya, or a bone here, that is directly connected to this control here. And this control, this is basically the FK manipulation for the eye. Above that, we have a space, and above this FK control, we have the space, and the space is aiming towards an additional control. I'm gonna put red here, just a circle here. All right. So it means that when I move the circle up and down, left and right, the space will aim towards that position. We'll always look at this pivot here, and because the space is the parent of the FK control, the FK control the space rotates, the FK control rotates. So what you get, it's an eye that looks this way or this way, by manipulating the pivot, or this way, so it rotates. Okay, so why am I saying this? And on top of that, we also have a major eye aim control, which does, in this case, for a character with two eyes, it moves these two circles together. So here we have another control, another eye, and the control looks like this. So basically we are animating this yellow thing. So you can see that we have three things. That's why I'm saying this. We have one FK control per eye, the IK control per eye, this is the IK control, and this is the FK control, and then we have the eye aim, both eyes. Now, because the IK control drives the FK control, we need to make a choice here, and I'm gonna try to explain my choice. Oh, before doing that though, let's see it actually in real. Just again, I always do this kind of recap. So you can see that we have the FK control here. When you rotate the FK, let me hide the bones. When we rotate the FK control, the eyes rotate. And then we also have this, which is the aim, which is moving the eye space, which is moving the IFK control. And then on top of that, we also have this, which moves both. So technically there are three ways to animate the eyes. So now, because there are basically three controls that are directly manipulating the eye, the same bone, you know, and that's because we are in a hierarchy. We need to make a choice, and I want to justify my choice. When we do backward solving, when we do backward solving, is the joint that will define the animation. Where do we want this animation to go? We want the animation to go on the FK control, and it's easy. It's just it's a project a new parent or a set get and a get and set transform. Or do we want the animation to be plotted onto the IK control or even on the I aim? Well, my decision is, and the way I've implemented, is that I want this joint animation to be plotted on the middle control, because this I always want to use as a offset, so it's free to be moved. It won't be animated, but the animation will carry over because we are animating its parent. So I want to plot the IK control, I want to plot the joint animation onto the IK control, and then so we have an offset below it to keep animating in case we don't like the motion capture animation. And then I'm gonna keep free of animation the I aim offset above, and for the same reason. So we have a clean way to offset either from a group or not. So from a group above or from a control below. Okay. So the way I've done this is very simple. If we open the module I here, which is one single I implemented as usual. I made a backward solve. After the setup mode, I'm checking if this is, if we want to be in backward solve. If it's false, we do the usual thing, the one we implemented in the I module video. If it's true, then it's a simple case of thinking that this control, how do we reverse in this case the aim behavior? Well, this control simply needs to be as if it was child of the bone. Okay, so let me select the bone. So this bone here, if I rotate this now, and if this were to be a child of it, by rotating this will go up, which is basically the inverse behavior of what an aim constraint does. So what I've done is that I simply said project a new parent. Let me show you. Project a new parent. I want the control IIK to be driven by the bone I bone. Okay. So this thing goes in both. And the transform that I'm computing using this node, project new parent, is setting the transform of the actual control. Okay, so nothing fancy here. So you can see that I was prepared to do all the others, and this is again, if you wanted to transfer the animation onto the FK instead, it would be a simple matter of doing project new parent from this bone to this control, or in this case, because the two things are aligned, you can also do a get and set a transform. But I've detached it just simply to explain that. How would you transfer the animation of these two joints onto this one? You can simply say, take the animation of this guy, so get transform on bone, get transform bone, run an interpolate, so it would be something like get transform. You get transform bone. Oh, let me get auto off. You would get a get transform bone, another get transform bone, and you can run interpolation, not this one. Transform. So in this way, you calculate the middle point between this point and this point, as well as the middle rotation. So you can then drive this control here, the aim control, through this transform. I said, like I said, I'm not going to do that. So all these nodes here, delete them. So so this is pretty much the setup, and the way it works is, let's have a look. Let's open the sequencer. I have skeleton. I can bring in the animation, and the animation looks like this. It has the eyes, and now if I bake this down to control brick, let's have a look. You can see that these controls have basically, you know, the rotation never changes. So these controls have been baked, but actually this animation is not required at all. Nothing will change if I delete this animation. This control has not been animated at all. And these controls have been animated. So now we have this animation on these controls. Oh, oops. Great. We just undo it. We have this animation on these controls, and we can offset the animation either from a parent space or from a child space. And that's pretty much it for the eye module. Cheers.